Alright, what is it that is worthy of an ode, worthy of a bow in awe, not for its legend? Well, it has to be something special, right? It has to be something so great that it stood and withstood the test of time, swinging all the way through the jungles like Tarzan in the jungles. Well, you wouldn't know about it, okay? Because, you snowflakes, you guys need to even check your Instagram to remember of what you did or ate yesterday.
What happened to you? And what exactly do we have here today?
It is what the Mercedes G-Class is to the world. A tough and rugged vehicle that millions have used. Millions of Indians, by the way, including the cops, the police, the army, and your friendly neighborhood MLA. All these people have put their trust in. And you know who else? Cyrus. He loves the Bolero.
From the fields of Mirzapur to the gullies of Gorakhpur to the lush valleys of Arunachal, the sandy deserts of Jaisalmer, and the slushy tea estates of Madkeri.
There's only one car that moves them all. It's an SUV that you'll spot invariably in and around any landscape, and if you leave it somewhere, it'll get stolen. It is the OG Indian SUV Mahindra Bolero.
But now the legend of the hinterland and the mover of mountains has come to the city.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the all-new Mahindra Bolero Neo. You know what the best part about it is, though? The fact that Bolero Neo is not a replacement for the previous Bolero, but an addition to the Bolero lineup. So if you've been a fan of the OG Bolero, like Cyrus says, well, you can still walk into any Mahindra showroom and still get your hands on it like Cyrus would.
So in a way, the Bolero now caters to a wider set of audience. So basically, the Bolero is for those who want a tough, no-nonsense SUV, and the Neo is for those who want a tough, no-nonsense SUV for the urban jungle. See what I did there? And because we're talking about a legend over here, we cannot move on to the Bolero Neo without a bit of a history lesson.
Finding its origins in the Mahindra Armada, which itself, by the way, was a derivative of the MM540, the Bolero was the one that was built as a modern sports utility vehicle, which means that it was perfectly suited for a country.
And while you kept raving about the compact SUVs and high-riding hatchbacks, the Bolero kept charming the rest of the country with its no-nonsense, unbreakable flair. It won them over with its boxy SUV lines and durable interiors.
The Bolero's malleable character, meant that it became whatever you asked of it. So essentially, it became an ambulance, people mover, cop car, family hauler, and it even became a rescue vehicle.
But apart from its rugged image, there were a couple of things that made it so popular. The bulletproof reliability and extremely low maintenance costs, and of course there's the pride of ownership that naturally comes when you get yourself a Bolero. Traffic literally moves out of your way when you're in one of these.
And I wouldn't be surprised if these things are carried forward in the Bolero Neo as well, because, well, as we know,
do you remember when the Bolero was first launched?
Yes, and yes, when we in fact stepped into the new millennium, Mahindra it is who brought us something that could drive us through the quakes, through the tsunamis, and you know what, through the floods.
Vision, bro.
Well, the Bolero has been pretty clear about what it was going to be, always. It was going to be a proper thoroughbred capable of handling the worst that Indian roads could actually throw at it without breaking a sweat.
But don't you think that the world has changed and now there's the next generation of buyers who have seen the Bolero perform growing up, and like me, see, I for one, I want a Bolero. But I also want to feel fancy and rich.
So you want the rugged, indestructible character of the Bolero, but with the premium appeal of a modern crossover. Now that's where the new Mahindra Bolero Neo comes into play.
Really? Is it a Bolero though?
Of course it is a Bolero. It retains the Bolero's indestructible charm while carrying over three main things from the Mahindra's other tank, the TUV 300. The three things are strong chassis, powerful yet efficient M-Hawk diesel engines, and, well, the premium interiors.
Come on, it's a TUV, bro.
Yes, it was, but it's not anymore. It gets a new face with the trademark chrome-slated grille in a fresh new avatar, and is flanked by redesigned headlamps, while the clamshell hood and the robust stance are a nod to the OG Bolero.
Yeah, the tailgate-mounted wheel, that is signature Bolero. It's the sight that made me slow down on my late-night drives as a teenager. Cop car identification 101. I have one more question. Does that mean that the old Bolero will disappear?
Don't jump to conclusions. Like you said before, well, the Bolero, it stays as is, strong and steady. It's exactly for guys like you or him, young and trendy, just people who are wanting to fiddle around with more buttons.
Stop being such an uncle, nobody cares. Tell me what's underneath.
You are in for a surprise.
Now what can the Bolero have that would surprise me? Thar chassis. It has the 3rd gen chassis that it shares with the Scorpio as well.
I love the new Thar, and going by how it has improved over the previous generation, the Bolero Neo is certainly capable.
Capable it is. very bad Yoda impression, by the way. See, it gets the M-Hawk 100 diesel motor. It's tried and tested rugged mill that goes on and on and on. And 100 horses under the hood and 260 Newton meters of torque. The low end grunt in this thing is unmistakable.
Yeah, the motor is bulletproof and it does run for ages, unlike you. It also has a lot of consistency, unlike him. Does it have something more to wow us with?
Hold your horses, because the Bolero has an ace up its sleeve. With the world moving on the front-wheel drive architectures, the Bolero Neo remains one of the true blue SUVs with the engine powering the rear wheels. And now you also have the first-in-class MTT multi-terrain technology. Imagine you're in the valleys of Arunachal and one of your rear wheels is in the air.
The MTT, well, let's explain it. The MTT acts as a mechanical locking differential, locking the wheel in the air and sending 100% of the torque to the other wheel. I think it's best to imagine it as a semi 4x4 technology on your rear-wheel drive SUV.
Not only that, the new Bolero Neo is the only body-on-frame SUV in its segment. It is the one.
Obvious. Look at him. He finally managed to squeeze all the keywords that there ever were in this, didn't you?
About squeezing in, the Bolero Neo is the only one that will give you 7 seats.
The last 2 seats were that jump seats and they don't really qualify.
Okay, imagine you're walking down a lonely road with the sun beating down on you. Those seats with the AC inside the Bolero would feel sweeter than a 5-star hotel, is what some would say. The interiors, they've been fine-tuned by, guess who?
Can't be! Oh no!
Oh yes, it is Pininfarina.
Now that explains why the interior looks so sorted then, because there are smart cup holders, bottle holders, well thought out cubby holes and of course a pleasing dash.
Alright, it's not all Pininfarina, because the touchscreen, the cruise control, all 4 power windows, they were all included by Mahindra to pamper the Bolero Neo buyers with creature comfort.
Don't make it an us versus them. Come on, we're all in this together.
And safe, because the Neo gets reinforced side panels to ensure crash safety requirements, plus it has ABS with EBD standard and with front airbags also.
So except for the sunroof, yes, it has got all that you need. Electrically adjusting mirrors, adjustable seats, folding middle row, and of course that's what you need on a big SUV. Come on guys, parking sensors.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Who needs a sunroof? It's just a waste of your hard-earned money on something that you'll get tired of in a month or 2 and you'll never open again unless and until someone else asks you to.
So you mean to say that the Bolero Neo is all the car that the emerging young new India would want? I like the sound of that. Cyrus would definitely want it. So would the thief that stole from him twice.
See, the Bolero has been doing that for 2 decades now, and as we already know, the Neo is more than a step further, and that too in the right direction.
You know what? I just realized something. You know how Mahindra is obsessed with the alphabet O, 700, 300. The name of almost every car they have brought out in the last 2 decades, well, it ends with an O.
Except the Thar, of course.
Well, the Bolero was the SUV that started the trend, yes. Now, do you think that that was the secret behind its success? Perhaps could be. Quite possible.
Yeah, there was a bigger secret to Bolero's success. It was available in a multitude of body options to fit and serve the purpose of Indians from different walks of life. And more importantly, it was the ease of maintenance and low cost of running that sealed the deal.
And that is how the Neo fits into the Bolero family like a glove. It is authentic and also fearless, the very ethos of people who love the Bolero then.
The hardest of steel is forged in the hottest of fires, and having experienced the Bolero firsthand, it was clear how appropriate it is for our emerging young India. And frankly, I'm not surprised that Mahindra has sold more than 13 lakh units of the Bolero so far, and that too despite the ups and downs in the market. That is saying something.
Lots of things have changed since the time the first Bolero rolled out in the Indian market. We went from what? Pagers to smartphones. Cassettes made way for Apple Music and Spotify. Social media has taken over our lives.
Yeah, there have been innumerable changes in the car buying trends. We went from falling in love with hatchbacks to sedans to SUVs and now crossovers.
But Bolero is a true blue Indian SUV that has been the epitome of consistency. It has remained immune to all the ups and downs of the economy and all the changes in the trends of the country.
The Bolero Neo has taken in decades of learnings and casted it in the fresh light of today's thoughts and perspectives. I came up with that.
And without wasting time, hit that link to see why Cyrus needed a chair to sit down before he started talking about the Bolero Neo in his review. And if you have already seen Cyrus at it, well, hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell. There's more Cyrus, more of Bolero, more of awesome content coming right at you.
We'll see you soon. Goodbye. I'm gonna try something.
Mr. Anderson, not everyone can be a Neo.